Most beautiful songs ever written, amongst the many Lennon McCartney wrote. That was I Will. And we've got Kate Herbert here with us this morning. Hello, Kate.
Hello, I'm here. Made it through National Pinhead Day on the road.
There's something going on out there, so be careful, everybody. Now, you've been to the theatre and back?
I've been to the theatre, yes, and I'm back and I'm here back. Went to see Little Absences, written by Grazia Marin. It's at Chapel off Chapel. It finishes tonight. There's an afternoon 2:00 session and a 7:30 short season. But this has great potential, I think, for a small play. The concept, the intention, the premise has a great potential for a short play with a small cast, which it does have three.
But I hear a little bit of a but there.
Yeah, there is a bit of a but. Let's talk about the not buts yet first. So there are certainly some elements that are successful. I had obviously some quibbles. I found myself flipping between reviewer and then slipping into critic, which is criticism's a bit different, and then sliding into dramaturg, which is, how this play could be reshaped.
Yeah.
So don't need to talk about
And also, I think, it's personal experience as well.
Yeah, it is. And I think, look, let's just say Little Absences, the title refers to the moments in dementia when people are lost to themselves, to others, when they forget or lose themselves or even forget who their daughter is. So there is a woman, Chris, who's indeterminate age, I don't know, I'd say closing 80 perhaps. Her daughter, who is pregnant but has a toddler, and a stranger who appears. So those are the three characters. But essentially this woman is suffering escalating dementia but denying there is a problem, which is very, aging people deny. And as you say, going through this, a lot of us experience this at the moment with, parents or grandparents. Sip of water, bit of a cough. Pardon me, listener, Gladys and Frank. She's living independently, alone, and her daughter comes to visit, but she fiercely hangs on to that independence. Yeah. She also hides alcohol. Oh. How she gets it, I don't know, because there's nothing in the fridge. She just doesn't seem to have any food. So it's hiding her dementia, hiding her secrets from her past, hiding her alcohol drinking, her sipping, drinking, dabbling, which is, of course, even worse with the dementia. It is distressing because for people like us who've experienced it or are experiencing it, watching it, there's so many things that are familiar. She talks about the daughter prying, it's like a spy in the house. So the paranoia that comes with dementia is certainly there. My concern about it was that it lacks some dramatic conflict. It's a lot of her self-narrating, talking about her past and her secrets. She was a writer and apparently, fairly well credentialed as she was very young, and she travelled to Spain on a scholarship, etc. The daughter knows nothing about this, which I found surprising because it's the sort of thing that people who've had successful youths talk about a lot. There's an offstage, late husband who she talks to. Now, she doesn't like him much. I often wondered why she was talking to him because she clearly didn't like him much. But it's, as you say, the issues are really important. And I'd love to see some reworking. It's a very short season, first run, I believe, only 5 performances. So I think with other work and development, it's in a development. It's really an early show.
How did the audience receive it?
It was not a very large audience on this opening night. There had been a preview. They were attentive. They were responsive. I think it's very hard to gauge when it's not a large theatre with a lot of people standing and clapping like seals, which happens at musicals or major shows. But I think engaged with the material and the performances. Pierre Dennisstein, who is the daughter of the writer, is in it, and she's a singer we've seen in Moira Finucane's cabarets, etc. Lovely singer. So she does sing towards the end.
Oh, lovely.
So I think if anyone wants to rush out at 2 p.m. or at 7:30 tonight to Chapel off Chapel, get a look at it. It might come back as well.
Yeah,
Little Absences.
Yeah. So Chapel off Chapel and small theatre, La Mama.
Yes, another small theatre, which has a much longer and more lauded history as a producer of work as well. And I think I've mentioned I was there when it burnt down, or my show was in there when it burnt down. So then my designer from previous shows then was the designer, the architect who built the new one or designed it.
Yes.
So it's all lovely.
So your bones are in there, Kate
My
Herbert.
bones are in there.
Yeah.
The old theatre, I had layers and layers of paint underneath those walls, covered with
So
shows.
what's happening? Who's in charge now?
So it's Caitlin Dullard, who is the artistic director, who had to go through the whole issue of the whole period of not getting a 4-year grant from the Australia Council and then not getting it again. So for the last year, up 2025, they stopped doing their cycle of productions and had residencies and developments and sought other kinds of funding. So when we talked about the program last show that I was on, that's the change this year. There are performances rolling each month for the first 3 months. But what happened that was wonderful this week in the Green Room Awards, Victorian Green Room Awards, Maureen Hartley, one of my favourite people I hold to my heart, who has been with La Mama for, I believe it's 45 years now, it's 1981, won a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Green Room Awards, which is fantastic. Maureen, in my early days there doing shows, she worked with administration, with media, publicity. She'd meet with us as the production. She wasn't managing all the production details, but our production, our budget, and all the regulations and guidelines and ideas. The go-to person.
Yes, ask Maureen.
Ask Maureen,
yes.
Exactly. Don't chase Liz Jones around. Just ask Maureen. And of course, now her job is probably 5 different people. Some of them part-time. But she's also had a very close relationship with the VCAA related to the education program, which she now is in charge of, the learning manager. So when there is a show that is being attended by students for the VCE, Maureen's the go-to person who organises it, who I believe still gets the script published in currency so people can, students can have it in the school. I had 2 of those published because a couple of plays were done by the VCE.
So what an impact.
Yeah, and she's also been a performer. She still does, I think, or maybe for a long time, did these tours through the city with Claire Larman, who was her tour partner, who I went to school with. We went to the same school.
So many connections.
All these connections. But no, we wish Maureen well and congratulations.
And she's got plenty of life in her.
Well, yeah, and, thanks for helping shape my career as a writer, performer, everything.
And just quickly, anything coming up for you?
One I missed that I couldn't go on opening night was Westgate, which is the MTC show about the Westgate Bridge disaster, which is still running. It's just started last weekend, so there's several more weeks of that. And a bunch of other things that are coming, but that's probably the most significant one at the minute.
That's great. Kate, thanks so much for coming in and joining us again on Arts Weekly. And we're going to wind up. I'm going to wind up with a plug. I went out to the Tarawara Museum to see their new Tarawara International 2026 System Release Exhibition, which brings together 10 artists from Aotearoa, New Zealand, Australia and Mexico, who reach into the chaos of global precarity. And if that sounds a bit weird, it's not. It's a wonderful show and it's a beautiful